Hi everyone, MJ here. Nothing like a little late night in the studio with some scotch. Now this is a knock and do, and I reviewed this a couple of days ago. I really don't like it. You can see I haven't drank that much of it, but hey, it is single malt. Want to say hi to everyone? Yeah, just hanging out. And I got my JTS t-shirt, guys. I got it. I was there today. Gotta tell you all about it. Just listening to some stuff I'm working on. Kenrod, fist bump to you. Some of my new tunes. I spend time after I work on it. You know, I go away for a while and come back and just do critical listening. I really like this groove. I'll just play this section. I think it's going to be pretty strong when it's all done. All right. Volume's a little low. Yeah. Hey, Betty, how you doing? Fist bump to you. Yeah, volume's a little low because I'm kind of far away, but that's okay. I wanted to just chill and sit back a little bit. Betty, how you doing? It's been a while. Hi to everyone. I got a little scotch. So today was a really cool day, and I went down to Taichung, which is in central Taiwan, because Zhong in Chinese means central or center. And by the way, you know, I have the lights down in here. The screen is washed out and stuff, but the lights are actually very low, which I kind of like. So I'm glad to see that you know, the camera is adjusting. I'm doing fine, thank you. Just hanging out, you know. So sometime I'll play that on a live stream, you know, properly connected over, you know, to the audio and not just on the phone. But today, George took me over to JTS. We had a big meeting with the big boss, and I want to show you. Okay, I'll show you some pictures. This is the big boss. Okay, this Mr. Marcus, and he's handing me the shirt. Let's move over here. He's handing me the shirt that I'm wearing. This one right here. And we're joking about it because that's got to be like, I was telling him, it's got to be like, you know, 4X, and it is. It's a 4L, so it's like extra large. So there I am wearing my Indonesian batik that I got from Bali with Mr. Marcus, and it was really cool because I got a chance to check out some new equipment, and I got a chance to demo some stuff. So what they did was they put an acoustic guitar in my hands, and this acoustic guitar has a pickup on it. Actually, it's a microphone pickup. It's a really interesting arrangement. I have to show this later because they're still prototyping it. But it's a clamp. It's a transmitter. It clamps on the outside of the acoustic guitar. And there's a gooseneck microphone that you can, you know, position over the sound hole or up on the strings and stuff. And then they've got a new speaker system. And there I am in the main room with a couple of their engineers, and I'm just, you know, doing a little picking on this guitar. And there's the speaker there. It's pretty cool because you see out the back there's a little pigtail hanging out, and that's the receiver for the you know, the acoustic guitar pickup, right? And there's a column sticking out of it. This is really an amazing design. The speaker down on the bottom is a Bluetooth speaker. It's a separate cabinet. It's on the bottom. Okay, you see the part in the bottom? And that in of itself is a standalone speaker with Bluetooth capability and 4 inputs on it for microphones and instruments. You know, has EQ and effects on it. But if you take that column on the top, it's in 2 pieces, and you plug the column together, and then you plug it into the bottom cabinet, then it becomes a full-range speaker cabinet, and all the high end comes out of the top. That gives you better dispersion for like a larger room, and it makes so much sense. This is a great design, and Mr. Marcus himself, that's his design. He came up with that idea, and man, it's great. So of course, you know, JTS has all these mics that they make. just, you can't imagine. I mean, the variety. And in the center are the wireless receivers, but a lot of those mics are wireless. Some of them on the left are special purpose, like for miking drums and things that have a right angle head on them. And they have a studio, and yes, you better believe that I went in the studio. And this is me in front of their Otari Japanese recording console. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and the whole thing too about it that I like, Betty, is that it packs up into a backpack. So it makes it so easy to just do a gig, and it's even battery powered if you want. So it's unless I'm totally wrong about that. Okay, I'm going to back up on the battery part. Might be confusing that with another product, but at any rate, it can lay on the floor like a wedge monitor, or it can stand upright. So this is yours truly sitting at the console that's a 48 channel Otari analog mixing desk, and it's the real thing. It's it is pretty awesome. It's an awesome system, and they're just getting it going now. It's in the prototype stage. So I saw a prototype today, and I've already given them written feedback on it, and so hopefully I'll be able to work with them. And so this console is really cool. It is it's a real recording console, like this one. It's very similar to this one. This is a 32 channel. That's a 48 channel, and it's really it's bigger than it has to be. This one is 32 channel. It's probably, I'm going to say, about half the size, just a little over half the length, because the channels are closer together. This would be for a smaller studio, like what I got. And this of course is the digital console. It's a whole different bag. This thing does everything that other big console and all the equipment around it together does, just built into this thing. So, Gallardo, how you doing? Fist bump to you. Doing good, man, here, and everything's cool. So here's the upshot. I haven't been on lately. I've been feeling really lousy. I got my second shot of the Taiwan vaccine, and for about a week I was feeling really fatigued. I couldn't get enough rest, and I actually wasn't getting enough rest. I was actually not getting enough sleep. So I took some time off and tried to just keep, just rest as much as I could. So I did. And so I didn't do any live streaming. And that's where I've been. But today we had the meeting with JTS. And so JTS has given me the assignment of doing some product videos for them. And I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do this with George. We're going to do some comedy. We're going to do some other things. But basically, it'll be me, introducing you to equipment and telling you how to use it. And we're going to have a demonstration. So I might be doing the demonstration, or somebody else might be doing a demonstration. Like, for example, if it's going to be a guitar pickup system, we're going to play the guitar. We might actually do some singing or vocals or some voiceover work or something like that. Like with this mic, they gave me this mic, the JTS 1P, right? And to demo and to use. And so yeah, we're going to be doing some real videos on that. Yeah, thanks, man. I just was feeling really lousy. We've all been there. Problem is when you do content and YouTube, especially live streams. People need you to, they need you to be on the air. They need you to do stuff. So yeah. You can't make it. You can't make it. Now I'm going to Kaohsiung tomorrow night. Art, how you doing? Fist bump. Haven't seen you for a long time. How you doing, bro? How's everything in New York? I'm going to Kaohsiung tomorrow, and so that means that I will be down by the river, as our friend Chris Farley used to say, right? I'm going to be down by the river doing one of my, usual kind of FM radio, nice and mellow talks. But we're coming back Saturday late. Excellent. We're coming back Saturday kind of, late evening, early evening. I don't know. So the thing is, I'm not going to be there on Saturday night. I'm going to be back in Hsinchu on Saturday night. So we can expect to have a nice little talk down by the river. And it'll probably be kind of late because, that's what I got to figure out. I may have to backtrack on that because in this particular case, we're actually staying in a hotel. And this hotel there's a view of the harbor, okay? And the harbor is a working port. There's, container ships all over the place. And you guys have seen some of my live streams from like the rooftops and things in Kaohsiung years ago on Periscope. So here's the thing. I'll go on tomorrow night from somewhere in Kaohsiung, I just don't know where. Maybe from the hotel, maybe from the balcony, who knows? Maybe from I don't know. I'll try to find someplace. Maybe there's a park. Anyway, so it'll be good to catch up. So what's going on with you guys? What's new? I've been working hard here, getting tunes done, and I'm doing tunes for some other artists, doing a lot of editing work, and we're doing a lot of editing work, and we're doing a lot of mixing and mastering, that kind of stuff. So it's really good. It's been good experience because I'm relatively new to the mastering side, of audio engineering. Of course, I know what it is, and I've always paid mastering engineers. Like when I released my record in 1995, I had it mastered at one place in Massachusetts, and then when I did a follow-up in '97, I had Vlado Muller master 4 songs for me, and he's like, in my opinion, probably one of the best mastering engineers in existence. He's worked with everybody you can imagine. But so I've always been familiar with the principles, but I never really dove into mastering until the last 2 years. So okay, well, yeah, it's amazing that you have to get a booster shot. I was reading an article yesterday. Was it an article? No, it's Dr. John Campbell. No, it wasn't an article. It was a YouTube video. And he talked about how worldwide vaccines are losing their efficacy. They're losing their potency. And I don't understand that. I really don't. I mean, I got a smallpox vaccination when I was a kid. Good for life. Never got smallpox. I got a polio shot. Never got polio. Good for life. So what's going on? If you ask me, that $15 billion that Pfizer got for that stuff, maybe they should give some of it back. Anyway, I'm just glad that here in Taiwan we have access to a homegrown vaccine that's not made by those big U.S. companies. It is morphing, but that's what they do. It's a type of flu, basically, right? I mean, I got a flu shot yesterday for North America, the North American variant, but you should still have some kind of immunity. But everybody knows now they use too narrow of a slice. So anything that moves to the right or to the left, So the main Taiwan Medigen vaccine is a protein subunit, and it uses a much larger slice of the DNA. So, now, Ken, you say that there's A recall on the turn signal. Okay. But you're not getting the booster shot. Are those two things by any chance related? Are you not getting the booster shot because you're getting your turn signal fixed? Is that what you're trying to say? That's pretty funny, actually. I like stuff like that, but anyway. So, some friends of mine have been sending me some dad jokes. You know what I mean? Dad jokes. You know what I mean by that? Just, you know, such corny jokes that only dad would tell them, you know. And then, you know, so the kids are going, Dad, don't say that. You know, so, but there's a couple of them, and I don't, you know, I write them down. I put them in a file so I don't have to remember them. But there's a couple of them that are really good. I got to share a couple of them with you. One dad joke that I really like. Okay, in the far corner, those are a pair of vintage AR. They're probably from, I'm going to say they're probably from 1973. And they've got the Acoustic Research Dome Tweeter. That's the company that was in Cambridge, Mass. That has a that had a cooperation with the Great Britain company. They're really, really detailed, but well, they're very flat, so there's no like emphasis, you know, and so when you play them, there's not a whole lot of a bottom end on them, you know, but the detail in the high end and the mid range is quite brilliant. These up here on the top this is a 3-inch driver. These are Tascam, believe it or not. I think they're called the VS3 or something like that. They don't make them anymore. They're powered. They're 14 watts. I've done a heck of a lot of work on them. What I like about those little tiny monitors is they are extremely flat. They're ruler flat. They just don't go down that low. I use them a lot as kind of like a general, you know, like if I want to play something like how's it going to sound on a car radio kind of thing. And I find that the mixes and stuff that I've done on those things translate very, very well into the real world. I've done a lot of stuff on those. These are Adam Audio. Of course, everybody knows Adam Audio. They're big time, you know, German manufacturer. They do these huge studio monitors that cost, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. But these are for like smaller studios, home studios. This is the T8V. It's an 8-inch driver, and V means that it's vertical. This is their famous UART ribbon tweeter that goes up to 25 kilohertz. And what I like about the T8Vs is that they're bi-amped, 90 watts. Hey, Phillips. Matthew. See, I'm Philip. Hey, Matthew. Fist bump to you. And they go down to 33 hertz. So I do have a pair of headphones that I use for mastering that have really good low bass response, so I can check things like, you know, kick drum and resonances and things like that. But seriously, the thing about the T8Vs is you really don't even need a sub. You don't need a subwoofer at all. So it makes it really, you know, really convenient to have those three kinds of monitors. But I don't use the ARs very much. In fact, I have to replace the amp. I'm going to get a small Class D amplifier to power those. I was using another kind of outboard amp. I got another amp down here, and I think it has a bad cap in it. But anyway, I was going to get Dennis to fix it, but I think I'm going to get Dennis to fix it and then sell it. So, oh, okay. Take care, Betty. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Anyway, I was starting to say something else, but I forgot what it was. But that's how it goes. Live stream, it really doesn't matter. It's okay. So for those of you who just joined today, I was in the JTS studio, and that's an Otari which is a Japanese console. It's a Japanese company, and they make tape machines. I used Otari tape machines a lot, particularly the MTR90 2-inch 24-track. Thank you. And then, but this is the first time I ever saw an Otari console, and it's really slick. It's really cool. Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you was, you guys know I'm real big on JTS mics. You know, they gave me the T-shirt, the shirt today. I'm real big on JTS mics. I got one of their tube mics, and they have the studio. So I asked them if I could do some of the vocal work and acoustic guitar work in their studio, you know, for credit on the record, and they said yes. So they're going to allow me to bring, you know, my tracks in and cut them, you know, with that console and those preamps and their microphones, and then take it back in my studio for mixing and mastering. So that's going to be really interesting. That's something that I should probably live stream on my studio channel, Phoenix Media Forge. I probably should do that, but I'll let you guys know about that later. Okay, dad jokes. I really don't need it. These headphones, these are JTS headphones, and they're the HP 656. Oh no, 565. I'm dyslexic, and here, let me move this cable. And these guys here, the bottom end on these is really great. Of course, the ear cups are shedding. I've got another pair of ear cups, and so what happens is the plastic on the ear cups ends up shedding after a while. But no, 33 hertz. You really don't need, and you can hear it too. If you tap them, you hear like a. It's hard to hear, but you can definitely hear there's a. You know, they're really something. The ARs probably could go that low if you pushed it. If you had like an equalizer, you know, and you jacked up the bottom end, it probably could. They probably could pass it because the driver is bigger. I think that's. You know what? I don't even know. I never even measured it. I think it's a 12. But anyway, it might be a 10. Yeah, I think it's a 10. These are 8, so it's got to be a 10. But the thing is on the ARs, the voice coil is really big. If you compare it to the outside diameter of the driver, you can see like right here that the interior, you know, the voice coil, the dust cover of the voice coil is proportionally larger than this one. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So, I'll tell you 2 dad jokes that I really like. How much does a millennial weigh? How much does a millennial weigh? That's the sound. Okay, here's the dad joke. How much does a millennial weigh? An Instagram. You know what? I got my drum machine right here. I can just do that. If I turn my drum machine on and I go over here and okay, this is gonna be funny. Okay. So I put this on the stereo bus, right? Good. So you can go like, you know. You know. I like this drum machine. That's how you do it, so. Okay, so how much does a millennial weigh in Instagram? This is ridiculous. Back when I had my radio show, the real radio show, not the national one, the local show. The local show was crazy. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I destroyed computers and things on the air and things I never did on the national show. When I did the local show, I actually had a drummer in the studio to just do, you know, for me like that. He did about 10 of them. So, actually, to answer your question is, yeah. See that I got my studio camera on. You see, those are my drum pads, And so those are MIDI, and I have the MIDI cable sitting here. It would take, you know, a couple of minutes, but to answer your question, yeah, I use that for programming drums. You know, you can program drums on the, you know, on the pads, right? Basically, when you're doing a drum program, there's a couple of ways that you can acquire, you know, the patterns that you need. Some of them are built in, or you can copy from other songs or whatnot. You can tap, you can do step recording, you know, which is where you just note by note, or you can just set it and record. Like if I press record, it starts doing this, right? So if I go like, if I just go, then, okay, and, oh, sorry. There you go. That's okay. Anyway, wow. Let's see what happened. Okay, that's playing back a pattern that was already in it. But the whole point is that you can, if you know what you're doing, okay, you can record drums on this. But yeah, so I got the pads over there because you can only do so much with this. Like you're trying to, like you said, you're trying to do a roll, so you're like. No, because I'm going like this, right? So it's like typing on the phone. But you know, you get out the drumsticks and you can, so, and I studied drumming when I was a kid, so I can do things like rolls and you know, flams and all the different, geez, I don't even know what they call them anymore, but I'm just saying, yeah. I can play well enough, especially if you're like, if you slow the tempo down and you're going like, you know, da do do da da da, and then when it plays back down, da da da, right? So, anyway, but this is good for, you know. Or I like the China cymbal. That's not even the best kit. There's a couple kits in here that I really like that Studio 7, Studio 6 is cool. They make a power kit that's pretty decent. They got some bunch of room kits and things like maple, you know, for like maple and natural sounding. And this is a rock one. So this comes a lot fatter snare. And there's two snare hits because, you know, when you hit, if you just did a roll that was like, it would just sound like that. But if you do it, it actually sounds like two sticks hitting the drum in different sections, right? So some of these kits are pretty not bad. So anyway, so that was dad joke number one. Now I don't have all of my dad jokes printed out. I will at one point do a dad joke show if you'd like, and then I can steal all yours. But the other dad joke that I have for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, after I take a sip of the Knock and Do, second and final, it's my final joke. I did some proofreading. But hey, how's it going, Gert? Fist bump to you. Welcome to Taiwan, guys. That's okay, Galar. That's fine. This is how the show goes. Okay, you guys remember me mentioning Whiskey Lover Society about 2 weeks ago. So that's Gert joining us. Appreciate it. Thanks very much, Gert. I know this channel isn't like your thing because I don't do whiskey all the time, but I did this knock and do, you know, and I was having like trouble like describing it. It's just so nondescript. Well, you can see how much I drank, so, you know, and I've had like 4 or 5 shots of it tonight. It's okay. I mean, I'm sitting in the studio just hanging out, but okay. So dad joke number 2 is, I already told dad joke number 1, Gert, so dad joke number 2 is, I did some proofreading for a wizard, but it was really just a spell check. That's it. Siri told you a knock-knock joke. Oh boy, I know. Some of those are pretty amazing. See, here in Taiwan, my family and I, we speak English or we speak Chinese, right? So we have the Xiaomi version of Siri is called the Xiao Ai Tong Shui, which means like the Xiao Ai is it's a nickname. It means small love, like, you know, little kid. But Xiao Ai Tong Shui, it means like classmate. And so you say Xiao Ai Tong Shui, and it just goes Zai, which means I'm here. And my daughter will tell it in Chinese. You know, will ask it, tell me some jokes, and that thing will just go all night until you go, okay, quiet, I've had enough. Jokes in Chinese, and I have to admit, they're pretty dumb. At least the dad jokes I can get. But anyway, did you guys hear that? The wizard? It was just a spell check. But yeah, so what was Siri's? Now that's interesting information, because I don't have the 15 and the 21. I like how you said it's nothing special, but it's a sipper, and it is well priced. This was, I'm gonna have to go back and watch my own video, but this was, I think it was 700 or so. It was about 16 or like $17 US, which ain't bad. It's a 12-year. I mean, okay, it is a single malt. Okay, and so just being a single malt in a 12-year demands a certain amount of respect anyway. But you know, some of these I think would be more effective as a cleaner or as a fuel rather than a drink, but not quite that one. Who's there? So, Kurt, are you originally from Belgium? I think you're from Germany, if I'm not mistaken. And you would love Taiwan. Razor who? One of my good friends, Andreas, he's a German brewmaster, and he was working right over here in the industrial park. So I met him. He's about a 10-minute bicycle ride from my house. There's a beer company over there, and he was working for them for years, and then he moved to the other side of the island, bought a farm, and he is like smoking his own stuff like speck and so forth. He's making all kinds of German meat products and selling them outside of Taiwan also. And he's also a distiller, and that's great, Ken. That's amazing. And he's, you know, like I go visit him, and he's got like a jug of banana wine or something that he's made out of local ingredients, including the local cinnamon we have here in Taiwan and stuff. It's just amazing. Oh, it's from South Africa. Okay. Moved to Belgium 6 years ago. Okay. Oh, I see. So you must be able to speak, what is it, Afrikaans? And if I'm not mistaken, I think a lot of families in South Africa speak Zulu at home, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I try to keep up and know a little bit about languages. Matthew, what do you mean you lost it? Because you weren't able to transfer it? I transfer it all the time. They have a utility for that built into Line. My wife's Line account got hacked. Of course, you know, they have an office here in Taipei for Line, but basically, if you send them an email, they can recover your account. It's, you know, her account got hacked, and somebody, you know, it was amazing because I'm looking at my wife's account, and it suddenly became Thai instead of, you know, Chinese, and then another woman's picture, you know, appeared on it, and then this person went around and started asking all of my wife's friends for money, and so I was able to tell all of them, don't pay attention to it. And then, like, I think it was 48 hours later, that person was gone, and my wife got control of her account back. But all right, if Afrikaans, okay, if this, yeah, wow. Now, that first language, I don't know how to say that, but I've seen it, you know, I've seen it written. But that's really cool. I think it's really cool. I didn't know that, Ken. See, I'm learning stuff about you guys all the time. Matthew, be sure to send me an email. You know how to get a hold of me, okay? And you can find me at MJ at Taiwan Live TV, or you can go to Live Streaming Technology, the forum, or any of this stuff. You can find me, and make sure that I have your new Line account, and I will add you to the late night group so you can join the family again. We have a small late night group on the Line app for embarrassingly enough, for my followers. That's how it started out, but it's such a great group of people, and many of the more famous live streamers are in the group, and it's nice to have access to those folks. And yeah, it's a privilege, you know, to be surrounded by such interesting and nice people. I think I'm probably the least interesting out of all, but that's how I feel about it. I'm really blessed to have, you know, I never tried to grow my channel like, you know, so huge, but I think that's going to change after today when I go back to Taichung and start working on the new videos for JTS. I think that's going to blow up, and we're gonna do a lot of humor in those things too, because we can switch languages back and forth and just, you know, subtitle it. So, and Chinese is such a great language for talking trash and for humor. It's amazing. Low Dutch, yeah, that's interesting, Ken. Do you know any of that language? Have you heard it? I studied Korean, Russian, and I picked up Thai, you know, just by being in Thailand a lot. I've heard some Indonesian. I know a couple words. I could probably learn it if I wanted to, but I concentrate mostly on Chinese because, you know, we use it every day. And I live in a kind of a rural, remote area, far away from Taipei, the big cities, and nobody here can. In India's, like, I go to the store or anything to buy anything or any kind of food or anything like that. I have to speak Chinese or no English. Okay, Mom never spoke it. That's why, yeah, because you usually, yeah. My daughter, Phoenix, as you guys know, is interchangeably fluent in English and in Chinese. But the thing is, right, she watches these Japanese cartoons. And some of the Japanese cartoons are in Japanese, so they have Chinese subtitles. She's 9 years old. But her reading comprehension in Chinese is amazing. She just had her midterm, and she got a 96. She beat the whole class. This is just unbelievable, right? So, oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I love that, man. I just, you know, the mutual intelligible languages, particularly among the Scandinavian areas, I just think is just incredible. And I've heard Icelandic, and that's another story. That's really cool. Which I guess is like the original, you know, undiluted, if you will, Norwegian. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so I try to know a little bit about these different languages, but my daughter just blows me away. So so she can read Chinese very well. So she's reading the Chinese at the bottom of the screen while she's listening to the Japanese, and now she can say a lot of Japanese things. And then I heard her talking Taiwanese to my mother, to her mother, my wife, and I'm like, it's just, kids pick it up, you know. So I wish if I could discover what element it was about the brain, the juvenile brain, that allows it to absorb languages and turn that into a medicine, a supplement, or some kind of pill or something. Boy, can you imagine if you took those pills every day and it opened your mind up to like a 5-year-old to learning languages or something like that, and you went to another country, and within like 6 weeks. Now there's a guy on YouTube. He's a relatively new YouTuber when you consider the number of videos and the length of time that he's been doing YouTube. But you gotta follow him. You gotta check him out. He is currently in Africa. This guy is a language slut. Let me tell you. His name is Tommy. He's from New York, and the name of his YouTube channel is Sabbatical. Now he's been hanging out with a young lady from Uganda, and her name is Miss Josie, and that's her YouTube channel. And now they've been hanging out a lot. I think they're actually like dating. I think they're a couple, but they don't admit it. But he has been around lately. He's been in Nigeria. He was in Lagos, and now he's in another part of. I know exactly. That's what I wish I could harness. And he's like, he walks around with a a GoPro on a selfie stick, and some of the stuff he gets into is pretty amazing. A couple of weeks ago I saw him. He was in Lagos in the floating slum, which is it's an incredible. It's kind of like the Venice. If Venice were slummy and super more dirty than it is in Lagos, Nigeria. Hey bud, fist bump to you. And he was in a building talking with these guys about it, and they hit him up for 50,000 of the local currency because they said that they gave him protection and stuff, and he basically wiggled his way out without paying him anything. You got to be careful. I've been in some shady places, but in Asia, but not like that. Hey, Uncle Bud, I got you here, and Uncle Bud did something really cool, and let me show you what that is. Give me a second, because I'm going to add this, okay? I need to add this to the media section. Uncle Bud he sent some postcards to Win-Win. Now, Win-Win is a local business owner here, and everybody knows Win-Win because I used to live stream from Win-Win's place. Like, it's one of the most well-known live streaming locations in the world, and so many live streamers came from other countries here. You guys know Win-Win's place. This is Win-Win right here, and Win-Win is Vietnamese, and she's holding these 3 postcards. So you know who I'm talking about, Ken? You know Tommy, right? You know who I'm talking about from Sabbatical? Yeah, he is very smart, and he learned Luganda and Yoruba and some other languages, and African languages, and he freaks people out, okay? Yeah, he freaks people out, so you know who I'm talking about. So this is Win-Win, and she's holding up 3 postcards, and these postcards are from Uncle Bud, who is in Texas. So look at those, man, that's so cool. And, Win-Win's looking at this cow, right, and saying, what the heck is that? And everything, and see here. Let me do this. What you can't here's what you don't see, and Ken knows this because he's from Texas too. This says only in Texas. See, that's a giant rabbit. Okay, now there you go. That's a giant rabbit. And so the joke is that everything's bigger in Texas, right? And so Win-Win's looking at that thing, asking me, "What is that? Is that a rabbit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's fake. It's a joke." And so why would you have that big rabbit in Texas? And so I had to explain to her that it's a joke about Texas is a big state. It's a big place, and so everything is big, and there's a whole bunch of humor. And he's saddling it. I know, that's the other thing. He's getting ready to ride it. That's amazing. And so Win-Win doesn't even speak English. I mean, she's from Vietnam. She's a Taiwan citizen. So I'm having this conversation with her in Chinese. And I'm trying to explain to her the American culture behind this thing. Jackalope. The jackalope was funny because we even had them in New Hampshire. I was at a couple lodges in New Hampshire that had the famous jackalope up on the wall. And people actually, were questioning, is that real? They didn't want to be caught asking, but And you know, the boss is like, absolutely, it's one over there, one over there. Absolutely, I shot him myself. Ate him too. It's so funny. But talking about humor, okay? But it's significantly different. More humor here is more kind of like human-based things like around embarrassment and stuff like that, right? And yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, if you really, really want to mess people up, Gert, go to the United States and call yourself an African American. See what happens. I'm going to stand back when you do that. I'm going to stand out of the way. Fist bump to you. Toshi, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. We're doing fine. Everything is good. I got my second dose of high tech, and yeah, we're good. I got my flu shot yesterday and been hanging out. Went to JTS today, and yeah, I'm going to use their studio to do some vocal tracks and some guitar tracks, and then I'm going to mix here, and yeah, so, and things are going good. Going to be doing some product videos for those guys. It's cool. I've been waiting for this. This is a good opportunity, and George hooked all this up. Guys know George. In fact, let me do George's bumper because it's so cool, and he's using the JTS karaoke mic. So, all right, this is my man George from JTS right here.
Hi, this is George from Taiwan, JTS. You're watching the Late Night with MJ Klein.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, you know, hey Rob, fist bump to you. Wow, the whole crowd is in here. This is great. This is fantastic. Yeah, okay, cool. You know, good news about the Taiwan vaccine is that the WHO is now studying it for efficacy, and they're studying it, excuse me, and a couple other vaccines. And so, if they accept it, then it'll instantly be recognized in the United States and other places too. Some other countries in Europe already recognize it, but for me, Palau recognizes the Taiwan vaccine because Palau has diplomatic relations with Taiwan, and I got to tell you, between Taiwan and Palau, I don't care if I go anywhere else. People don't understand. You guys have seen through my channel and others the absolute stunning scenic beauty of Taiwan, the fantastic cuisine. It's just amazing, amazing people. But we're talking about humor and stuff, and how people perceive jokes and things, and some of the concepts translate very, very well. Others don't. Like I tell the joke about how, this is an old Stephen Wright joke about how, you know, I was pulled over by the police for speeding. The cop said, you know, the speed limit here is 60 kilometers an hour. And then I say to him, well, I wasn't going to be out that long. And when you say that in Chinese, you just say, you know, 我没有在外面这么久. It's the same exact thing. I'm not going to be out that long. It takes people a second, and then they're like, then they freak out, and they start laughing. So a couple things, you know, translate really, really well. And they got jokes about numbers, like, because, you know, like, this means 6, and people will say 3, they go like this, right? And so that enables, if you know the culture, then you can make up jokes too. So I made up a joke the other day, and I told somebody in Chinese, I said, you know, my friend said he's having trouble seeing, and so I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll hold up some fingers and you tell me how much, and then you know, I'll test your vision. So tell me what you see. He said, okay. So I said this, and he goes 2. I said, okay, what about this? And he said, okay. And I went, yeah, you need glasses, because it's, you know, 6 and 3. And there's another joke too, like you go to the night market, or you go to the rice box store, and you say, boss lady, how much for a rice box? And she goes, 60. I say, okay, can you add a chicken leg? And she'll go, yeah, 30. So I gave her 50, and she said, it's not enough money. And I said, well, how much did you say? the rice box was. He said 60. I said, okay, 60, yeah. And how much for the chicken leg? 30. He said, okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 50. And so these kind of jokes are pretty common, and they're actually quite funny. So when we do the JTS videos, we're going to incorporate some Western type humor and, you know, some Asian humor. Yes, he does. Can you imagine, Rob, being young and handsome like and single like Jevons? I mean, he owns his own business. He does quite well. He has a lot of free time, and he's doing river tracing and, you know, jumping off waterfalls and in these emerald pools and swimming off the coast and it's, you know, with the granite cliffs, and it's just, yeah, he does. He's quite amazing, which is why I was just so pleased that he did that joke video for me. You know what I'm talking about, the famous intro that I did. Yeah, that was just incredible. I think I'm gonna have one more shot of this, just one more. It's gonna be bedtime pretty soon because it's yeah. I got a little bit more studio work to do. I got some editing I'm working on tonight. But yeah, Jevons does do a really great job. I'm glad to have him in the late night group too. I was thinking about him actually a couple of days ago and how I need to invite him back over this way. He was such a great sport when we did the prank on John Ho, and that went over so well. He's such a great actor, so I got nothing but good to say about him. And he's helped me too a lot, you know, locating things, you know, finding things and with information, because he's always up to date on what's going on, even more so than I am. So pretty cool. It's a good way to put it. There used to be a lady that, I'm not going to mention any names, but used to frequent my live streams, and she was kind of crazy about him, if you remember. But he didn't want to have anything to do with her, and I think in the long run he had the right idea, because she turned out to be not who she represented herself to be by any stretch. So, all right, so Rob, I know you just joined recently. I'm gonna show this one more time real quick. I was in the JTS studio today, and I met with the boss, and it went really, really well. That's the boss, Marcus, giving me this shirt, and I'm wearing my Indonesian batik. Now the funny thing is, he has an iPhone, and that is actually that picture is it's a wide angle lens, and if you look, my face is like really flat. It almost looks like I'm painted on the wall. It's kind of bizarre. And then I was doing some testing of some of their stuff. They gave me a guitar to play with a pickup on it, and then Toshi, let me see, Ipai Josu E, Ijo E Gongfen, so there you go. And so this is a new speaker design with a plug-in column. It's actually an option, and you see the pigtail at the back is the receiver for the guitar pickup. And then we have, then I was in their studio, and they have a console that's even bigger than mine. And that's a 48-channel Japanese console by Otari, as opposed to the 32-channel British console over here. Of course, this is 32-channel digital console here. It's a different animal, but so yeah, they invited me to do some vocal work in their studio, which is going to be really cool because I get to use all those JTS mics and test them out, and we'll do some videos. And when this happens, I'm definitely gonna live stream those sessions. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We just gotta get the audio into the live stream, because it's no fun, you know, hearing. It's no fun, right? When somebody's got their headphones on, you can't hear the music, and all you hear is, you know, and they're singing. That's no fun at all. You got to hear you got to hear the backing track with it. So we'll figure out how to do that. We'll use a PC and somehow we'll interface it. But the alternative would be to do a recorded video and show it later. I could do that too. So, all right. That's about all I got for you guys. I'm sorry I've been on lately. I've been really not feeling too well. I'm doing better now, but I'm going on the high-speed rail to Kaohsiung tomorrow. Tomorrow night I'm staying down by the Southern Taiwan. I'm staying down by the harbor. So one way or another, I'm going to go on tomorrow night and do a live stream from somewhere. Not sure. Maybe just walking around with a gimbal. But yeah, I've missed you guys, and well, I love all you guys, and you know that. And so I feel bad when I'm not on, but I got to run. I got some editing to do, and well, time waits for no man. So you guys take care. Thank you. Papaya milk. Yeah, that's not bad actually. So thank you, Gert. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I caught your latest. Review, and I got to tell you, I really appreciate how your descriptions and how you relate to things, and I think it's great. So I think your channel is going to be really super popular. I appreciate it. Well, it's nice to meet you too. Thank you, sir. And you know what? I run a forum, livestreaming.technology. I know it's an odd domain. It's not a .com. It's livestreaming.technology. And you're welcome to join, and because it doesn't matter if you're a live streamer or not. It's for primarily live streamers, but they do all kinds of live streamers do. They use all kinds of technology, right? That content creators use, regardless. And so it's a place also for content creation and stuff. And I could. So I think what I'm going to do is that we have a page for YouTube channels. I think I'm going to add your YouTube channel to that, so it won't hurt, but. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks, Rob. You guys take care. And okay. Yeah, I guess we're all set. I don't know what's going to go on next week, but I'll keep you guys informed. We're probably going to start writing the scripts and so forth for the new videos, and so I'm going to give you some behind-the-scenes shots as we do these things. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out. You guys take care, and we're going to say Zaijian Wan'an, which means see you next time. Good night. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good night, guys.